Welcome back to writing. As always, I'm excited to be here with you, reading together and thinking about our own writing together. This year, you have written and read many stories. For the past few weeks at home, we have read and written nonfiction together. For the next few weeks, we are going to explore a different kind of writing, poems. You have already read lots of poems with your class this year in shared reading. You might think about Willoughby Wallaby Woo, Kitty Caught a Caterpillar, The Little Turtle, Hippopotamus Stew, Listen, and others. I know some of you have your poetry readers at home, and you might be reading these poems with your families. Today, we are going to read some different poems together. All of these poems have a lot of movement words, or words that describe someone or something moving. Then, I will begin a poem, and you will help me think about and write what comes next. This will become a first grade shared poem. So make sure that you listen carefully, and when this is over, you're going to do your writing and send it to your teacher so that I can add your ideas to our poem. The first poem I am going to read is called Cat, and it was written by a poet named Mary Bretton Miller. As I read, I would like you to try closing your eyes and visualizing or making a picture in your mind of what is happening in the poem. I am going to read the poem 2 times. The first time, I am not going to show it. I want you to just listen, and I will stop and explain some of the words. The second time, I will show you the poem and I will read it again without stopping. Cat by Mary Bretton Miller. The black cat yawns, opens her jaws, stretches her legs, and shows her claws. Then she gets up and stands on 4 long, still legs and yawns some more. She shows her sharp teeth. She stretches her lip. Her slice of a tongue turns up at the tip. Lifting herself on her delicate toes, she arches, that means to bend, she arches her back as high as it goes. She lets herself down with particular care. Particular means special. She lets herself down with particular care and pads away. Pads means to walk softly. And pads away with her tail in the air. I'm going to read it one more time. I would like you to again try to visualize what is happening in this poem as you listen. Cat. The black cat yawns, opens her jaws, stretches her legs, and shows her claws. Then she gets up and stands on 4 long, still legs and yawns some more. She shows her sharp teeth. She stretches her lip. Her slice of a tongue turns up at the tip. Lifting herself on her delicate toes, she arches her back as high as it goes. She lets herself down with particular care and pads away with her tail in the air. Did you visualize how the cat moved? What are some of the things the cat does when she wakes up? We are going to make a list of some of the movement words in this poem. So as you think back or as you look at the poem, what are some of the words that describe how the cat moves? Let's start to make a list. Did you think about the word yawn? When I visualize this poem, I see the cat's mouth opening wide as she yawns. Stretch, stand. Maybe you thought of the word lift or arch, pad. So those are some of the words in that poem that describe how the cat moves. Let's read another poem. And as I read this one, I want you to pay attention to those words that describe movement. The next poem that we're going to read is called Mix a Pancake, and it was written by the poet Christina Rossetti. Mix a pancake, stir a pancake, pop it in the pan. Fry the pancake, toss the pancake, catch it if you can. I'll show you the poem and let's read it together one more time. What are the words in this poem that describe how this person is making a pancake? Mix a pancake, stir a pancake, pop it in the pan. Fry the pancake, toss the pancake, catch it if you can. Let's add the movement words in this poem to the chart that we worked on before. So what are the movement words? How does the person in that poem make the pancake? What are they doing? Did you think about mix? They mixed the pancake. What else do they do to make the pancake? Stir, pop, fry, toss, and catch. So those are some of the movement words in that poem. We're going to read one more poem together. And again, as I read, visualize what is happening. Make a picture in your mind. A lot happens in this poem. Try to imagine how the character in this poem is moving. And keep in mind those words that describe how she moves. The next poem is called Lessie. When my friend Lessie runs, she runs so fast I can hardly see her feet touch the ground. She runs faster than a leaf flies. She pushes her knees up and down, up and down. She closes her hands and swings her arms. She opens her mouth and tastes the wind. Her coat flies out behind her. When Lessie runs, she runs so fast that sometimes she falls down, but she gets right up and brushes her knees and runs again as fast as she can. Past red houses and parked cars and sleeping dogs and cartwheeling girls and wrestling boys and Mr. Taylor's record store, all the way to her corner to meet her mama. All right. So in this poem about Lessie, how does she run? How does the poet Eloise Greenfield tell us that Lessie runs? Let's read it one more time. When my friend Lessie runs, she runs so fast I can hardly see her feet touch the ground. She runs faster than a leaf flies. She pushes her knees up and down, up and down. She closes her hands and swings her arms. She opens her mouth and tastes the wind. Her coat flies out behind her. When Lessie runs, she runs so fast that sometimes she falls down, but she gets right up and brushes her knees and runs again as fast as she can, past red houses and parked cars and sleeping dogs and cartwheeling girls and wrestling boys and Mr. Taylor's record store, all the way to her corner to meet her mama. There are lots of words in this poem that describe how Lessie moves. Let's list some of them. So, as you think about all the ways that Lessie is moving in that poem, what are some of the words that the poet uses? Well, she runs, we know that. She's pushing her knees up and down, swings, she swings her arms, tastes. Oh, that was interesting. She tastes the wind, opens, closes, flies, falls, brushes. All of these words, and there are more, so I wonder if you thought of different ones. All of these words help us visualize exactly what Lessie looks like as she is running. Now we are going to write a poem together. I am going to start the poem and I am going to choose a word from all of those words, those movement words that we collected as we read those poems together today. And that word that I choose is going to help me think about how I want to start my poem and what I want my poem to be about. As we were filling out the movement words chart, the words swing stuck out to me. And in the poem Lessie swings her arms back and forth. But when I thought about the word swing, I was remembering all of you swinging on the monkey bars at recess. Many of you were getting so good at it, and you would run over to the teachers at afternoon recess and say, "Watch me swing." And I was remembering how exciting that was, and that's how I decided to start this poem. So I am going to use that as the beginning of my poem. My first line is going to be "Watch me swing," and I am going to end that line with an exclamation mark because so often when you told us teachers to watch you, it was in a very excited voice. So watch me swing. And now I am going to think about what it feels like to get ready to swing across the monkey bars. As I visualize, as I remember you on the monkey bars, I think I am going to write, "I put both hands on the bar." So I'm thinking about you starting. You're still standing on the platform. I put both hands on the bar. I'm going to write eyes forward. And then I think I'm going to write legs ready to push off. And so this is how I'm imagining you getting ready to start swinging on the monkey bars. Watch me swing. I put both hands on the bar. Eyes forward, legs ready to push off. Now I want you to think what might happen after this. What would it feel like? What might happen when you are halfway across the monkey bars? Do you get to the end? What does that feel like? Your job today is to write a few more lines of this poem. This is the beginning. I want you to keep going. I am going to collect your ideas on Monday and work on finishing this poem. On Wednesday, I will talk about all of your ideas and we will read the poem that we created together. I so look forward to reading and hearing the lines of the poem that you think come next. You might want to use some of these movement words as you continue to write lines of this poem. You also might think of other movement words that you can put into your lines to describe how the person that you're visualizing, maybe it's you, maybe it's a friend, is swinging across the monkey bars. I am very excited to write this shared poem with you, and I will see you with the poem on Wednesday.